रिकॉर्डिंग से मत करना कि वीडियो चालू।
हाँ नहीं कर रही। Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Today we have a look at animal tissues. We have studied about different kinds of tissues present in plants. Now the topic is animal tissue. Tissue means the group of cells which perform a specific function for the body. We have done the plant tissues. Now the topic is animal tissues. As there are different kinds of tissue present in the plant, same here, the different kinds of tissues present in animal also. They are four types. They are of four types: epithelial tissues, muscle tissues, nervous tissues, and connective tissue. The name first one is epithelial tissue. The chapter is tissue and the epithelial tissue. Animal tissues. Here are four types of animal tissues. Epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, and last one is nervous tissues. They are again divided into different subcategories. The tissues are again divided into subcategories. And the first one is epithelial tissue. It is again divided into four types. First, we have a look on the epithelial tissue. Four types of epithelial tissues. The location of epithelium tissue is, epithelium means it is under the skin and closely have the closely packed cell. They are flat, maybe cuboidal, columnar, and flat. They may be flat in a cube form, and in column form. They have the shape of tissues are, they may flat, cuboidal, columnar, and they are closely packed. They do not have intercellular space in them. They have closely packed. They are closely packed and they do not have intercellular space in them. They form a continuous layer over the surface of organ and inner lining of a body cavity. The function of, we are taking this general characteristics of epithelium tissues. After this, we will see the different kinds of epithelium tissues. The function of epithelium tissue are, it protects the body, absorb food, and secrete some enzymes and juice. These are the function of epithelium tissues. Types of epithelium tissues. They are of four types, different kinds of tissues. First is equamous epithelium tissue. Here are 4 types of epithelium tissues. Four type of epithelium tissues. First one is equamous. Equamous epithelium tissues. They are composed of flat, thin and prominent nuclei. They are flat in nature and have prominent, means the role of nucleus is very important in this. Prominent nucleus, then thin. It has a thin layer over a epidermis or a organ. The location of, this is the shape, location of equamous tissue. It forms the lining of mouth, cavity, nasal cavity, and blood vessels. It found in lining of mouth cavity, nasal cavities and blood vessel. It forms the lining of blood vessels. Blood vessels and lymph vessels. This is the shape of equamous epithelium tissue. They are flat, thin, have a thin layer and has a prominent nuclei and closely packed. Then location where the equamous tissues are found, they found in lining of the mouth and nasal cavity, blood vessels and lymph vessel. These are the location of equamous tissues. Then what is the function? As they provide lining over a cavity, it means it protect the particular part from mechanical injury. When we are having some hard to eat, this lining protect our mouth by any injury and protect us from germs and harmful chemicals. Function of equamous tissue. Protect the body part where they are found, protect from mechanical injury, germs and chemical, and it helps in to secrete saliva. These are the function of equamous epithelium tissues. The second part of epithelium tissues are cuboidal epithelium tissue. The second part of cuboidal epithelium tissues. As the name given, they are in the form of cube. They are in the form of cube. Having cells in cube structure. the location of particular this cuboidal cell is location where they are found in kidney, tubules and some granular duct. In kidney, and some ducts. Ducts are the fine tubes. They are having fine tubes and these secrete juices for that organ. The function of this is in kidney. What will be the function? Kidney, it means it absorbs minerals and salt from the urine. But it having it present in duct also, so it secrete some juices for the digestion or for any other function. Absorption of salt and mineral in kidney and secrete juices for the juice may be a particular enzyme or maybe endocrinatic hormones also. These are the function of cuboidal epithelium tissues. The shape is found in the cube. They have the cube-like structure of their cell, and it present in kidney tubules and some another ducts. The function of this tissue is to absorb mineral and salt from the kidney, from the urine, and secrete juices for the body function. The third part of epithelium tissue is columnar epithelium tissues. They are in column shape. Columnar epithelium tissue. They are in the form of column. The cells are long in column shape. And the location of these cells are it forms a inner lining of stomach and intestine. It forms inner lining of inner lining of stomach and intestine. As they are present in stomach and intestine, the function is absorb digested food from the intestine, absorption and secretion. In stomach, it secretes some enzymes to digest food, and in intestine, it absorbs digested food. These are this is the shape, location, and function of columnar epithelium tissue. They are long in shape, in cylindrical nature, just like in brick shape. They form a brick-like structure and have a have a nucleus. The location of these tissue, it means, is present in inner lining of stomach and intestine. Suppose this is the stomach. It form a lining, a cover, a layer. This is the lining. So it forms inner lining of stomach and intestine. The function of columnar epithelium tissue is absorption and secretion. The last one of column epithelium tissue is ciliated epithelium tissue. Ciliated columnar tissue. Cilia, they are they are same as the epithelium tissue, but there is a different. They have cilia. Cilia is a small fine hair like structure, fine thread or hair like structure, and this cilia is present in this tissue, and due to this they perform an activity of movement in trachea and lungs. Location of this tissue, it means they found in trachea and bronchi. Bronchi is a part of lungs. They have cilia in them, a fine hair-like structure, and this help in to pass any particle in downwards or inside of the lungs. These are all about the ciliated columnar function, and the function of this is the movement of particle, or always keep in lashing. They are in motion. These cilia are always in motion, and they constantly keep lashing and move the material in. This is all about the epithelium tissue, and the last one is granular epithelium tissue. Ciliated and columnar are the part of columnar tissues, and the last one is granular epithelium tissue. In this, that they have the columnar cells having large cells which secrete certain chemical substances. They have gland. They are glandular in shape, so they secrete some chemicals or hormones. They are just like the columnar tissues, same as the columnar tissues, and having large cell. They have large cells and secrete some substances. They found in lining of stomach and intestine. At certain places, the tissue is folded inward. They are in folding. They are having some outgrowth of that particular part. They are having some outgrowth of that particular part and form a compact hollow tubular. This form a location of granular epithelium tissue. They found in stomach and intestine, because in stomach and intestine we need some enzymes for digestion of food, and due to this they have the folded structure. They have a folded structure in that particular part. Due to this, the cells become compact, hollow, and tubular grains are secrete some enzyme. Function of this tissue is secrete chemical substances and enzyme for the digestion. This is all about the epithelial tissue present in the animal cells. There are there are four types of animal epithelium tissue, and first is equamous tissues. Equamous epithelium tissue are flat and having prominent nucleus, closely packed. They present in mouth and nasal cavity, blood vessels and lymph vessels. The function of this is it gives support to the tissue from the injury and germs and protect the body part from harmful chemicals and from drying them up. The next one is cuboidal epithelium tissue, and that one is a cube. They are in cube form and present in the kidney tubules and granular ducts. The function of this cuboidal tissue to secrete and absorb the useful substances. The last one is the third one is columnar epithelium tissue. There are two types of columnar epithelium tissue. One is ciliated and other is granular. Ciliated, they are having fine thread-like structure or hair-like structure. They are always in movement and have the particular substance to move inside the organ. They present in trachea, and trachea means windpipe, and present in bronchi. They are the part of lungs and respiratory system. Cilia constantly keep leaching and move the material in. The granular tissue present in stomach and intestine. They have the glands like structure, and the function of granular epithelium tissue is to secrete and absorb the enzymes and juices. They form a hollow tubular compact structure. Last, the second part of striated epithelium tissue. The last one is striated epithelium tissue. They found in striated epithelium tissues. They found in skin and cornea. Striated means having some lines, dark and light. Striated. They have a dark and light lines on a particular tissue. They present in skin and cornea. Cornea is a part of eye. It composed of several layers. They forms several layers. They forms several layers, and it's a kind of epithelium tissue. This is all about the epithelium tissue, and the next one is connective tissue. The next part of animal tissue is connective tissue. As the name given, connective means they connect one part to the other part of the body. They bind the tissue with another. Connect. They connect, bind one organ to the other organ, one cell to the other cell, and keep them at their proper place. Keep the organ in their proper place. They affix the organ and cell. It has three characteristics. There are three types of cells present in it. They have abundance of intercellular substance, and that is called matrix. Matrix is present in connective tissue and they are rich in intercellular substances. And the second thing, present in fewer cellular elements. They are having small cellular elements in them and the fibers are present in them. These are the general characteristics of connective tissues. They are having abundance of intercellular substances and this substance is known as matrix. Then fewer cellular element. The element of cell are fewer, less in number, and fiber is also present. These cells are again divided into three types. These tissues are again divided into three types. The function of this tissue is to connect one organ to another organ, to bind the tissues and organs, keep the tissue in their proper place to perform their works. The general characteristics of connective tissue is there is abundance of cellular substances. It means matrix is present, fiber is present, and the cell elements are less in number. There are three types of connective tissue. One is connective tissues proper. In this, they are packing, binding, serves for the packing and binding of the organ. They are perform the function packing and binding. They bind the organ, they pack the organ. Then the next is supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue. As the name given, supporting means they give support to the tissue. Supportive connective tissue. They support the cell and organ. They support. They bound. They pack the tissue like cartilage and bones. They bound and support the cartilage and bones. And last one is fluid connective tissue. As the name given, fluid means the tissue in liquid form. The tissue present in liquid form. They can flow. These are the three types of connective tissue. In this, blood and lymph are having part. Blood is the liquid and lymph is also liquid. The connective tissue again divided into three parts. The connective tissue proper, which perform the activity of packing and binding. And the next is supportive connective tissue. They bound the cartilage and bones, means bones to bone and bones to muscles. And the third type of connective tissue is fluid connective tissue, which is present in blood and lymph. These are the, we will see them one by one. First is connective tissue proper. Again, this is divided into three types. Three types of connective tissues proper. First is areolar. Areolar connective tissue. They are widely spread between the skin. Widely present between the skin and they are of again two types. They are having two types of collagen and elastic. Elastic means they give flexibility to a particular part. They are again divided into two types, collagen and elastics. And elastic give flexibility to a particular part. The function of this areolar connective tissue is give strength and support. Elasticity. It gives strength and elasticity to a particular part of. Then they are present in skin, under the skin, and form a layer between the epidermis and skin, layers of skin. But the second one is adipose tissue. The second one is adipose tissue. They are having three types. First is areolar tissue and the second one is adipose. It means deposition of fat. In this tissue, there is a deposition of fat made up of fat cell. They are made up of fat cells. They forms a padding. They form a pad or cushion like a structure. They form pad or cushion like a structure. And provide energy for the body. And they provide energy due to the decomposition of fat. They are having fat cells. Function of this is act as a insulation for the retaining body heat. They retain